What is going on, everyone? My name's Andy. Welcome back to another FPL video, and today we're back on Monday for the team selection. FPL waits for no man. That includes Father Christmas, so the next game week is on Thursday, Boxing Day. They're coming thick and fast at the moment, so we've got to get these videos out ASAP. So I'm going to take you through how I did in Gameweek 18, then take a look ahead to Gameweek 19, any transfers I'm looking at, captaincy, all that good stuff as normal. Before I do that, I did want to say the video has kindly been sponsored by OneFootball. There's loads of football coming up over the rest of the festive period and into the new year. So if you've not already checked it out, completely free, Android, iOS devices, just search OneFootball in the stores or click the link in the description below. All your football news, lineup news, live scores, and all the good stuff that you want. So make sure you give that a go, completely free, and let's jump into this one. It's fair to say things didn't quite work out how I wanted in Game Week 18. I took the 8-point hit, so Kelly, Rico, Aurier, and Son came in. Pulisic left, Tomori as well, who ended up getting a clean sheet and a bonus point. Diop, who didn't play, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who could well be on his way back to punish me as we speak for the next game week. So none of them paid off. Basically, every single one blanked. -1 from Son, which was just awful. Like, so petty what he did. And I think I saw a stat earlier that since the 2018-19 season, he's got something like 2 yellow cards with 3 red cards. So all that, not that kind of player thing. Look, just stop kicking out. It's absolutely ridiculous. So a -1. So my Spurs assets got 0 in total. Kelly 2, Rico 1. And there was a bit at the end of Saturday where I had a full set of 4 clean sheets from the players that were playing. And then it just started dropping like dominoes. Rico lost his, Kelly lost his to Almiron, of all people, who just hasn't scored for Newcastle so far. But it is what it is. I kind of set myself up for the bench for the upcoming weeks. Obviously, Rico got his yellow card and he's banned as well. But as we'll see in a minute, I'm not going to be playing him anyway. So overall, a really awful week. Vardy came through with 9 points again. I didn't captain him because I wanted to try something different. And I thought his cap is probably a goal plus 3 bonus points at the absolute most. That's exactly what he got. And that would have been extremely nice this week. In the end, I captained Rashford. That was a frustrating watch. He could have got something close to the end. Man United, a different team when Pogba came on. And Danny Ings absolutely smashed it. I did, believe it or not, very briefly think about captaining him. But it was really always between Rashford and Son. And I had it on Rashford for Saturday morning. Then I changed it to Son on my drive home. I went shopping. And then I put it back on Rashford when I got home. So in the end, that worked out okay. Much better than captaining Son for a -2. But Ings and Vardy were really the only ones that smashed it. Lundstrom consistent as always. And Pope with another clean sheet. So that was really nice to see as well. So 48 -8. Back down to 511k. I just can't move. I was like, Game Week 9, I was around 500k. And I've gone absolutely nowhere. So let's see if we can pick that up in Game Week 19. We're halfway through the season once this game week ends. So we could do with a big one to get us going into the new year. And 997 points total. Let's see how we're looking for Game Week 19. So getting into Game Week 19, I took that 8-point hit last week. So I used my 2 free transfers, obviously. So only one this week. 103.4 million squad value, but nothing in the bank. That Jimenez to Rashford transfer is basically not only cost me points, but it's also cost me flexibility because I've not been able to necessarily make moves that I wanted to make, and I always seem locked to having nothing in the bank. So we'll talk about Rashford soon, but that is becoming a little bit of a problem. Maybe we'll see in a sec when I talk about transfers. Poping got a lot of people, still saying to me, when are you going to sell him? Both in comments under videos, on streams and stuff. And the reality is, I've got nothing in the bank, so I can't go to Guaita, who he outscored this week anyway. Fair enough, probably not going to happen for the next upcoming fixtures because Crystal Palace's fixtures are so good. But did outscore him this week, got another clean sheet. And the only other option really is to go to Ramsdale at Bournemouth, and they've got good fixtures. But when they have good fixtures, I'm probably going to be playing Rico. So do I really want to double up on Bournemouth defence given how they're playing at the moment? Probably not. So Pope just stays almost by default now. Hoping he can get some save points, which he got a bonus point in the last game without any save points, which is impressive. But hopefully he can get some save points in the tougher fixtures, clean sheets in the easier ones. And he'll actually be an okay pick to keep. Aurier, really looking forward to having him for this kind of run of 3 games now. Brighton at home, Norwich away, Southampton away. Wasn't defensively very good against Chelsea. To be fair, Chelsea kind of dominated that game against Spurs and didn't really kind of let them come out from the back. They pressed very well. So Aurier had a bit of a tough time. Wasn't too attacking, but these are the kind of set of 3 fixtures that I got him in for. After that, we'll reassess. So happy to have him for Brighton. However, I do think Brighton pushovers and Morpay is in really good form as well. So not massively expecting a clean sheet necessarily, but Rico suspended, Soyuncu's playing Liverpool at home, so I've got to bench those 2. Lundstrom, what do I need to say? Watford at home. I mean, Watford, though, I will say much improved under Pearson. Now, whether or not Man United put up much of a fight, I don't know, but Decore was everywhere in that game. Just stopped Man United playing any kind of ball through to the kind of front players. Yes, Lingard should have scored. It would have been a different game if he puts that one away. But Watford are very good. I wouldn't be surprised if they do score against Sheffield United. Obviously, Sheffield United very well drilled and defensive. But there's always the attacking potential for Lundstram. So we could be seeing rotation this week. I'm not going to worry too much about that because it's going to happen either this week or next week. And we'll just take it as it comes. And then Kelly, West Ham at home. Yes, they didn't get a clean sheet against Newcastle. Only conceded the one goal. That's what Crystal Palace are about. They don't concede too many goals. West Ham, the only thing about them, of course, is they've had a rest because the Liverpool game didn't go ahead in Gameweek 18. That was a blank. So they will have had a rest, which is going to be a big advantage over all the other teams playing this week. So maybe that will help them score, but I think Crystal Palace, you're always hopeful of a clean sheet. So Kelly definitely plays. Soyuncu benched. I can see Leicester scoring in that game, but surely Liverpool will score. So no clean sheet for him. So that's on defence. 3 home fixtures for the defenders. Quite happy with that. So looking at midfielders, I've carried on kind of keeping Maddison. I just think I've got, especially with Son, red card, I've got other things to worry about. I'm not too concerned about him just yet. Let's see how he does after the Liverpool game. Again, I think Leicester can score in that game. So whether he'll get the assist for Vardy or whatever it might be, fingers crossed on that one. De Bruyne, only 4 points in the last game. Did get the assist, but got a yellow card. That yellow card, I think, pretty much cost him bonus points as well. So if he hadn't got the yellow card, it would have been a much bigger score. And obviously, happy to have him going forward. City's fixtures I spoke about last week, the ones that are coming up are much better than the ones they've had. Wolves away is going to be tricky. Aguero's back now, which I think is a big win. Whether he'll come back straight back into the side, I don't know, because obviously he's been out for a little while. Especially over the kind of the cold days of December, they're probably not going to want to rush him back too quick. So, given that the games are quite thick and fast now, you'd assume that he'll get some minutes to kind of give Jesus some time off as well. But yeah, that's got to be a good thing for De Bruyne. And I expect De Bruyne to play good minutes in the next couple of games. Like, if he misses one, so be it. Obviously, not going to know which one that is. There's no point trying to second guess it either. So happy with De Bruyne. Mane is currently my captain, Leicester away. Now this is all about trying to go against Vardy captain, because he will be pretty well captained again this week, I think. Especially after scoring against Man City, and the fact this is a home game as well. And obviously we know Liverpool haven't been great for clean sheets. I kind of still want to do something different. Unfortunately, Son was my captain against Brighton at home until he got sent off. So who do I replace him with? I don't know if I have the luxury of keeping him. I've seen some people talk about keeping him, going into next week with 2 free transfers. The thing I like about that is I've got Rashford up front, and while I'm not knee-jerking him just yet, I know that he is going to be the one eventually that I'm going to save some money on to put money elsewhere. So I don't have the money to go from Son to Salah. I don't have the money to go from Son to Sterling. I could do that if I took a hit, but I just don't think a hit in a period where there's going to be some rotation, and I'm not certain I want to get Salah or Sterling in, or double up on Liverpool at all with the fixtures they got coming up. I don't think that's necessarily the move. So the obvious move is Son to Alli. Like I've already spoken about Aurier. They've got those 3 nice fixtures now. Brighton, Southampton, Norwich is the reason I had Son in. Will Spurs be as good without Son in the side? That's something to maybe think about. And it probably means that Lucas Moura definitely plays as well. I just think Alli is more assured of his place, so he'd be the one that I would get in. I would hope that maybe Eriksen comes in and then provides a bit more creativity to give kind of Alli those chances. So Son to Alli's a potential. I've also looked at Son to Pogba. I know Man United player, I've already got one. Do I really need 2 attackers given how they were against Watford? But if you watch that Watford game, it was a completely different Man United side when Pogba came on. They were much more attacking, they created much more chances, better chances as well. Rashford, like I said, had that one against Watford where, you know, he could have scored with his left foot. Unfortunately, didn't put it wide enough for the goalkeeper. So Son, I think Son to Alli would be the one I do, but Son to Pogba is in my thoughts as well. If I do Son to Alli, I may captain him, or Mane. I think Mane against Leicester, I think Liverpool will score, but they've had that long trip away, of course. But it will be on a high, very confident after winning the Cup. So it's interesting. It's going to be between whoever I bring in for Son, Mane and Vardy. So I think midfield's still looking good. I think this week I feel like this week in midfield especially, maybe not in defence, but in midfield, it's a bit of damage limitation. I'm not sure I'm going to make up too many points. I just don't want another red arrow. So I'm quite happy with the midfield moving forward, just not sure how many points it's going to give me this week. So adding in the strikers and bench, obviously, like I said, Vardy's there. I mean, realistically, if you said you were going to captain him this week, I would not argue against it at all. He took his goal really well against Man City. It was a fantastic finish. It was exactly what we knew they were going to try and do, put the ball in behind, let him run past that defence. And that's what they did. Whether he'll have such an easy time doing that against Liverpool, I don't know. Obviously, Van Dijk is no slouch. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson are also no slouches. They can cover as well. So I don't think that ball around the back is going to be as easy against Liverpool as it maybe was against Man City. Doesn't mean he can't score, of course, penalties, etc. in his locker. But that is obviously, if there's any rotation, it's not going to be in that game, because if Leicester can get something over Liverpool, it obviously cuts the gap and it's a really nice win for them. So Vardy definitely going to play, definitely good captain option. I just think, again, like I said before, if I was going to go against him, these two fixtures, Man City and Liverpool, obviously it hasn't worked out. It doesn't mean it won't work out again. I just got to try something different. So I think Alli or Mane will be the two that I look towards. Rashford is one that I've considered just after watching that Watford game. Basically, in that Watford game, it's exactly what we worried would happen with Man United players. They would struggle to break teams down. Did say that when Pogba's back that would change, and it did. But the question is, how many minutes is Pogba ready to play for now he's come on? He came on for something like 30 minutes or so. Is he now ready to play 90 minutes for the next two games with such a short turnaround? Probably not. So as soon as he's not playing, that's going to create another problem. So I don't think I can captain Rashford against Newcastle. Not to say he won't do anything, of course. I think Newcastle maybe not as defensively solid and as kind of sat back as maybe they were under Rafa Benitez, but still very well organised under Steve Bruce. So I wouldn't expect Man United to score too many goals in that fixture. But happy enough to own Rashford for that. But it's between Alli and Mane, I think, for captaincy. And then Danny Ings, like a lot of people talking about him. Obviously, he's been in such good form. 2 goals this time. That's his first brace this season. 13 points, great score against Villa. Obviously, got a bit of a tougher run of fixtures coming up now, starting with Chelsea away, and then I think it's Palace at home. People considering whether they should get him in. He's up to 6.5 million now. There's not really... Obviously, fixtures are not there necessarily. They're not awful. They're not as good as they have been. But if you look, when I got him in, I looked at his run previously, and he'd scored against plenty of the big sides. Southampton aren't going to win many of these games, of course, but he only needs to score a goal, and then you've got your points. He's very good for bonus points as well, because he's very clinical with his shots. He's not having lots of shots off target and stuff like that. So if you're, obviously this isn't about my team now, but if you're considering bringing Danny Ings in, I don't think it's a bad time to do it if you need a cheap striker. Obviously, you've got Jimenez, he's got Liverpool, Man City. He's also delivering most weeks, but Ings is just such good value, 6.5. He could be this year's Jimenez. Got him at 6. Very, very happy with him. I've seen people talk about, not many people, I will say, but a few people, is it time to get rid because of the fixtures? Absolutely not. The only thing to be worried about for him is his injury record. And he has played so many games, and he's played so many games now in quick succession, and it's not been an issue. Maybe he's just over them now. It could happen, but at this point, I wouldn't call it, it's Danny Ings, he's got another injury. It's just one of those things. People get injuries, and he's not had one for a little while this season now. So he's looking great. Definitely keeping him against Chelsea. I did joke about captain him, not going to happen. But fairly happy with that team. Again, I don't think it's, a lot of the temporary players, Maddison, Vardy, they've got tough fixtures this week. I think De Bruyne's got a tough fixture against Wolves. Ings might struggle a bit against Chelsea. They defended pretty well against Spurs. But overall, quite happy with the team this week. I think two free transfers going into the next week would be nice. But I don't have the bench. I don't want to play Soyuncu against Liverpool. I can't play Rico, and Dendonk is just, you're waiting for a header from a corner, and that is it. So I want to get rid of Son. It's probably going to be for Dele Alli. So that is it for this week. Video out a little bit earlier than normal just because of the quick turnaround with games. We'll hopefully have one of these in between Game Week 19 and 20. That turnaround is even quicker than the one we've just had, but I'm sure we can do it. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like. It is Christmas. Come on, I like if you don't usually. Be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. Hit that bell so you're notified when all the videos are going out. Hopefully I'll have a preview out on Christmas Eve. And then I'm streaming on the Fantasy Football Scout website on on the YouTube channel on Boxing Day morning before the deadline. So make sure you tune in for that as well. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about my team. Is Alli the one? Is Pogba too much of a risk? Is there any other players you would go for 10 million or less that I don't already own? Grealish potentially an option. Not sure about getting him in though. And if you haven't already tried out OneFootball, it's completely free. It's a really good app to have over Christmas with all the games and stuff that are coming. Click the link in the description below, or just search OneFootball on the Android, iOS stores. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you later.